Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Today we're going to be talking about Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages. Now, I was extremely late to the party with this one. I remember DVRing it years ago around Halloween time and watched a few minutes of it, and I thought it looked pretty cool. So I decided to get the Criterion. I got the Blu ray, I watched it, and was kind of blown away by what they were able to get away with in 1922. There lies the controversy. Now, I'm going to back up what I said, of course, and I still am surprised what they were able to get away with. But apparently, the film had to be cut numerous amount of times in order to get approved from the Swedish board. And if you take out the scenes that they ended up having to cut, it is still pretty heavy for 1922. Now, of course, this is a silent film, and this was one of the ones that, you know, as you're a horror fan, you're always told that there are certain necessities that you need to be able to watch or have watched, kind of not to get your horror card or whatever, but to, ones that a lot of people talk about. This happens to be one of those films. The Phantom Carriage is another one, and also put out on Criterion. So, like I said, when I watched this for the first time, I was blown away, but didn't know that a lot of the cuts that had been made were now restored in the version that I watched. So, we're going to get into some of the scenes that were cut as far as being a controversial view, because at the time, this was considered way too far. Like they had gone way too far in filming it. And I can honestly understand that because there are scenes in this movie that are really, really creepy. Definitely. So, as I said before, they had to make several cuts in order to get it authorized to be shown. One of the scenes is a close up of a finger being removed from the hangman's hand. And when I started reading all this, I realized that these parts were actually in the film. So they had all been restored when Joe and I watched it together. Of course, they were restored when I watched it before, but there are so many things going on in this film that it's kind of hard to pick out certain things that happen. It's all pretty messed up, the whole movie. Some of it's kind of funny. I mean, talking about they had to kiss the devil's ass in order to, or arse, in order to show loyalty and support. So some of it was kind of funny, but a lot of it was really kind of heavy for the time. In 1922, this was a silent film. So another scene that had to be cut was the trampling of the cross in the witch's Sabbath scene. Of course, that's been restored as well. And you find out a lot about this stuff because, unfortunately, this fell into public domain. So a lot of companies could put this out. And you weren't really sure what you were going to get, not only as far as quality goes, but as far as what scenes were going to be back in the film. And, was it going to be a good cut of the copy or something that you can barely see? I know that, what's the line that I like this line, I really do, but a lot of the cuts are bad. And I'm trying to think of the name of the company. It'll come to me. But they do like a lot of the old Bela Lugosi films, like um, meets the Brooklyn Gorilla and Night Tide and not Omega. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Alpha. That's what it's called. Alpha Video. I do like the company, even though a lot of the copies they release aren't the greatest of quality. See, another scene, and this one's pretty cool. A shot of an oozing infant held over a cooking pot. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we have a close up of a woman's face while on a torture rack. And they show her being tortured. Um, and finally, the scene is a shot of a demon embracing a nude woman. Like I said, they got away with a lot on this. There were some messed up scenes that they just let go, which I was actually kind of surprised about. But all in all, this is a really wild film. I'm not surprised. There's a lot of controversy about it. You know, judging by when it was made, the type of film it is, and the subject matter for the time period. You know, it's kind of easy to see why this would be a controversial film. So my question is, have you seen Haxan? If not, you definitely it's something every horror fan I think should watch because it's so different from what we have today. And then in some ways it's not as different. I mean, it's a silent film, so obviously it's going to be different, but I don't know. They had some really cool scenes in there, some really creepy ones too. So definitely check this out, and don't forget to check out Joe's controversial view for Haxan. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time.